This brings us to our distance healing application of Reiki. With distance healing, we're going to learn a new symbol to work with. The symbol is called Hon Shaze Shonen. There's a couple variations on how the symbol is drawn. The handout that I just gave you there has the version that Hawaii Takata used, so that's the one alternate version of it. And I'm going to draw a different variation of the symbol here. You'll find both of these in the Diane Stein Essential Reiki book. As you can see, that's a Japanese style of script there. So it's kind of like a whole sentence, right? If we were to translate what the meaning or intention of it is, it would be for healing through time and space. So distance includes both physical and temporal distance. If we think of things on the spiritual level, they're not confined by time or space. So we could send healing for the past, present, and future. And we can send healing to any person, any being, anywhere in creation. This symbol can be used by tracing it. So with your hand, you would make the motion of tracing out the symbol. You could also visualize it, or you can use the name of the symbol. So just either verbally or mentally chanting Hon Shaze Shonen, that would also activate the symbol.
And do we ask permission when we're doing like distant healing? Or should we do it first or ask?
With distance healing, just like if a person's coming to you in person, it's with permission.
Okay.
Right. When you're doing it, you don't have to necessarily have the person receiving it be focused at that particular moment on receiving it. Since it's not limited by time, we have the understanding that we can send or give the treatment, and then that person receives it in their timing, however they're ready to receive it. So in some cases you might coordinate with someone at such and such time. I'm going to be sending Reiki for you, and if you want to sit and lie down or meditate at that time, that's the ideal way, but it's not necessary. So the person could just be going through their daily routine, not even focused on the fact that you're doing a session for them, and they could still receive it a benefit. Now, distance healing, because the person isn't physically there with you, it's more like a visualization. So you're in some way visualizing or imagining your connection with that person you're doing the healing for. You might already in your mind have a mental image of that person, so you might know that person, or you might have a photo of the person, so you can use that to connect with them. If you don't have any image of the person, you could use the person's name. So we can do Reiki, provide a Reiki session even with only the name of the person. We can use something to kind of be like a little surrogate or model. Like some people would have a doll or stuffed animal, and they use that to represent the person that's receiving the Reiki
Mm-hmm.
treatment. So you can have that there, and you could put your hands around that object, that item, with the understanding that represents the person you're sharing Reiki for. There are some practitioners who will use their own body as that surrogate. So they'll use their own self, in a sense, to stand in for the physical presence of the other person.
And then
So you could be doing it like this, where in your mind you have the understanding that your body is representing that other person. That can be a little more difficult or confusing to maintain, because when you place your hands around your body, it might start to resonate with your own energy and your own issues.
Yeah.
So that, I would say, if you're a little more experienced or more practiced with this, you could try it that way. It might be better to work with the surrogate object as a beginner practicing this.
And then we can chant it, right? With the
Right, for
words,
the symbol you can chant the name Hon Shosei Shonen. You could also trace the symbol, and it doesn't have to be traced over a person, right? And here the person isn't even here with you.
Yeah.
So obviously you're just doing it in your own mind, your own visual representation. And as you connect with that person through this sort of visualization or meditative process, you'll likely actually feel things in your hands as you're mentally imagining you have your hands around the person. So it can work just like an in-person session. You'll feel things and you'll sense things. And you would take as much time as you feel you need to as you do that treatment. There's no minimum or maximum length of time.
And if we didn't have like an object, we would just maybe sit and meditate, and would we still put our hands in the air while we're doing this and visualizing of the other person? Would that help?
It's optional to actually do it with your hands that way.
Okay.
I like to do it that way. It kind of feels natural to work with the hands
Yeah.
and to sense with the hands. But there are Reiki practitioners who will do it all visually without even using their hands. Like they're just kind of in their mind sort of scanning the energy of that person and either seeing or feeling in some way where that person's energy is off balance, and through the visualization they're projecting energy to those areas. So you don't have to use the hands, but using the hands may help enhance the feel or sense of actually connecting with the energy. So you could try it either way and see how you feel. Okay?
Yeah.
Any other questions so far about doing a distance healing treatment?
No. Okay.
Okay. We're going to do a little practice distance healing now. So, do you already have someone or some being, that could be your pet or something, that you intend to share the Reiki for now?
Would be my cat.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. My mom. My mom.
All right. So you can start out however you begin getting yourself kind of tuned in and in the receptive mode. And this time you can use this symbol. You can also include the other Reiki symbols that you've learned. So if you feel you need to use a Choku-rei or a Seiheki, those could also be part of the session. But now as we're doing the distance healing, we're going to use this one to activate the intention for distance healing. Okay? comments or questions on what you were experiencing in the treatment that you did?
I felt a lot of energy. Were you doing something to me, or was that I was my mom's energy?
Right, you were working with your mom. I was working myself with someone else. So.
I said, why do I feel it was just as powerful as in person when I was doing it? The energy that was coming back when I would chant Om Shaze Shonen. Did I say it right?
Om Shaze Shonen.
Shonen. I felt it just as powerful coming back. And when I said, is that Jet or is that me? It was just as strong.
Mhm.
It's very powerful.
Mhm.
So she may feel it.
The person receiving may or may not, tangibly to them at least, feel something when you do it. Some people are very sensitive and they'll like pick up on all kinds of stuff that's happening energetically.
Yeah.
So that type of person might very naturally feel it when someone gives them a Reiki treatment remotely. Other people are not so sensitive and they might not notice. But even if someone doesn't notice when they're receiving the treatment, if it's triggering some type of healing effect, then that effect may occur and they'll notice whatever that effect is. So you can communicate later and see with your mother anything unusual, anything out of the ordinary occurred after this treatment that you did for her. And you can practice distance healing anytime. It's very convenient. We can also do distance healing for like a space, a place, like you could do healing for a house or a workplace. So anything that you can conceive of as like an energetic concept or construct, you could share Reiki for that.
Okay, that's cool. Like an investment maybe? Or something like that you want
Right, to bring like optimal, harmonious kind of energy to whatever enterprise you're involved with. Something like that.